Hello everybody, welcome to my channel.
Laurence Olivier, born May 22, 1907, Dorking, Surrey, England, died July 11, 1989, Steyning, West Sussex, England, was one of the greatest and most influential actors and directors in the history of theatre and cinema. Renowned for his commanding presence, powerful voice, and classical mastery, Olivier helped define 20th-century acting both on stage and screen. Early life and training. Laurence Kerr Olivier was the youngest of 3 children of an Anglican clergyman. From an early age, he displayed a talent for performance. He attended the Central School of Speech and Drama and later trained at the Royal Academy of Dramatic Art, RADA, where he quickly gained attention for his natural ability and charisma. By the late 1920s, Olivier had begun performing in repertory theatre, laying the foundation for his lifelong dedication to Shakespearean drama. Rise to stardom. Olivier's stage career flourished in the 1930s. He became a leading figure at the Old Vic Theatre, where he performed some of Shakespeare's most iconic roles, including Hamlet, Macbeth, Othello, and Henry V. His interpretations brought new psychological depth to these characters, and his performances were widely acclaimed for their intensity and precision. Olivier transitioned successfully to film during this period. His early roles in Wuthering Heights, 1939, opposite Merle Oberon, and Rebecca, 1940, directed by Alfred Hitchcock, established him as a major screen star. He was nominated for Academy Awards for both films, gaining international fame. Film direction and achievements. In the 1940s, Olivier turned to directing as well as acting, creating a series of celebrated Shakespearean adaptations. His Henry V, 1944, filmed during World War II, was both a patriotic masterpiece and a technical triumph, earning him a special Academy Award. He followed this with Hamlet, 1948, which won 4 Oscars, including Best Picture and Best Actor, making Olivier the first actor-director to win both honors for the same film. Other notable directorial works include Richard III, 1955, and The Prince and the Showgirl, 1957, in which he starred opposite Marilyn Monroe. His career continued to evolve, and he became equally adept at portraying modern and historical characters. Later career and legacy. In the 1960s, Olivier was appointed the founding director of the National Theatre in London, where he nurtured a new generation of actors, including Anthony Hopkins, Derek Jacobi, and Maggie Smith. Even in later years, he continued to act in film and television, earning acclaim for roles in Sleuth, 1972, Marathon Man, 1976, and The Boys from Brazil, 1978. He was knighted in 1947, became a life peer, Baron Olivier of Brighton, in 1970, and received numerous honors, including 13 Academy Award nominations, 3 BAFTAs, and the American Film Institute's Life Achievement Award in 1979. Personal life. Olivier was married 3 times, most famously to actress Vivien Leigh, his co-star in several productions. Their marriage, 1940 to 1961, was both artistically productive and tumultuous, often strained by the pressures of fame and Leigh's struggles with mental illness. Death and influence. Laurence Olivier passed away on July 11, 1989, at the age of 82. He was buried in Westminster Abbey, an honor reserved for Britain's most distinguished figures. His influence endures through his performances, his writings on acting, and the many artists he inspired. Olivier's career bridged the classical and modern eras of performance, and his name remains synonymous with excellence in the dramatic arts, a true embodiment of the actor as both craftsman and artist. Artistry and acting style. Laurence Olivier's acting style was a masterful blend of classical technique and emotional realism. He was renowned for his meticulous preparation and his ability to transform himself completely for each role. Olivier approached acting with the precision of a scholar and the passion of an artist. He studied every aspect of his characters, their physicality, speech patterns, and even their psychological motivations. Although he was deeply rooted in the Shakespearean tradition, Olivier constantly experimented with style and tone. Early in his career, his performances were marked by bold gestures and an oratorical grandeur typical of stage actors of the time. However, as film and theatre evolved, so did Olivier's approach. By the 1940s and 1950s, he had become known for his subtle emotional depth and naturalism, particularly in his film work. Critics often remark that Olivier was not only a great actor but also a consummate craftsman. He understood the differences between stage and screen acting and could adapt his style seamlessly. His ability to combine technical control with emotional spontaneity made him a benchmark for generations of performers. The National Theatre and later stage work. Olivier's tenure as director of the National Theatre, 1963 to 1973, was one of the most significant chapters in British cultural history. Appointed by the government to lead this new national institution, he assembled an extraordinary company of actors, including Michael Gambon, Anthony Hopkins, Maggie Smith, Joan Plowright, his third wife, and Derek Jacobi. Under Olivier's direction, the National Theatre became a powerhouse of modern and classical drama. He championed both Shakespeare and contemporary playwrights, staging works by Harold Pinter, Eugene O'Neill, and Samuel Beckett. His productions were daring, imaginative, and technically sophisticated. Despite bouts of illness, Olivier continued to act in several productions, including memorable portrayals of Othello, 1964, Shylock, and King Lear. His Othello, in particular, became legendary, both on stage and in the 1965 film adaptation. His performance, while controversial today for its use of racial makeup, was hailed at the time for its emotional intensity and tragic power, earning him yet another Academy Award nomination. Film and television renaissance. In his later years, Olivier reinvented himself once again, transitioning into character roles that showcased his range and gravitas. Highlights of this period include Sleuth, 1972, a psychological thriller opposite Michael Caine that earned Olivier another Oscar nomination. Marathon Man, 1976, his chilling portrayal of the sadistic Nazi dentist, Dr. Zell, remains one of cinema's most memorable villains. The Boys from Brazil, 1978, he played Nazi hunter Ezra Lieberman, earning his 10th Academy Award nomination. Brideshead Revisited, 1981, his performance as Lord Marchmain in the acclaimed television series was widely praised. King Lear, 1983. TV film, a moving late-career performance that displayed his lifelong mastery of Shakespeare. Olivier also took on narration and cameo roles, lending his commanding voice and dignity to projects such as Clash of the Titans, 1981, and The Bounty, 1984. Awards and recognition. Laurence Olivier received nearly every major acting honor of his era. His accolades include 4 Academy Awards, including 2 honorary ones, 5 Emmy Awards for television performances, 3 Golden Globe Awards, 3 BAFTA Awards, the Kennedy Center Honor, 1979, a life peerage, Baron Olivier of Brighton, the first actor ever to receive this honor. He was also the namesake of Britain's highest theatre accolade, the Laurence Olivier Awards. Established in 1976 to recognize excellence in London theatre, personal character and relationships off stage, Olivier was known as both intense and deeply private. His marriage to Vivian Leigh, which lasted from 1940 to 1961, was one of the most famous and troubled partnerships in entertainment history. They were often described as the golden couple of the British stage, starring together in acclaimed productions of Romeo and Juliet, Hamlet, and Antony and Cleopatra. However, Leigh's struggles with bipolar disorder and Olivier's demanding career strained their relationship until they eventually divorced. He later married Joan Plowright in 1961, with whom he had 3 children. Plowright remained his partner until his death, providing stability and companionship during his final decades. Legacy. Laurence Olivier's influence on acting, directing, and theatre administration cannot be overstated. He redefined what it meant to be a classical actor in the modern age, elevating Shakespeare for new audiences and pioneering a cinematic approach to stage performance. His legacy endures not only in his films and recorded performances but also in the countless actors and directors he inspired. Modern greats such as Kenneth Branagh, Ian McKellen, Anthony Hopkins, and Daniel Day-Lewis have all cited Olivier as a major influence. His fearless pursuit of artistic excellence set a standard that few have matched. Major stage roles and performances. Laurence Olivier's stage career was both vast and varied, spanning more than 6 decades. He performed in an extraordinary range of roles, from Shakespeare to modern drama, often redefining how those characters were interpreted. Shakespearean roles. Olivier's name became nearly synonymous with Shakespeare. His interpretations of the bard's characters were considered the benchmark for 20th-century theatre. Among his most celebrated performances, Hamlet, Olivier played the melancholy prince numerous times throughout his life. His 1948 film version, which he directed, won the Academy Award for Best Picture and Best Actor, and remains one of the most acclaimed Shakespearean films ever made. His Hamlet was introspective and psychological, capturing the tortured soul of the character in a way that felt modern and deeply human. Henry V, in his 1944 film, created during World War II, Olivier's Henry became a symbol of British courage and patriotism. The film was hailed as both a technical marvel and a morale booster for wartime audiences. It won Olivier an honorary Oscar for his achievement. Othello, Olivier's 1964 stage and 1965 film portrayal of Othello was intense, commanding, and tragic. While the film's use of racial makeup has been criticized in later years, his performance itself was widely regarded as one of the most emotionally powerful of his career. Richard III, in both stage and film, Olivier's Richard was one of his signature roles. His 1955 film adaptation is famous for its opening soliloquy, "Now is the winter of our discontent," and his chillingly charismatic portrayal of the villainous king. The film's stylized production and Olivier's precise diction made it a masterpiece of Shakespeare on screen. Macbeth, King Lear, Shylock, The Merchant of Venice, and Coriolanus were also among his most acclaimed stage roles. His performances were characterized by bold choices. He often reimagined traditional characters through physical transformation, voice modulation, and psychological complexity. Other stage highlights beyond Shakespeare, Olivier was celebrated for his versatility and willingness to take on diverse.
Bye bye. Thanks for watching. Bye.